Today we're going to review the Edwin 2.0 by Swardman. Well, this mower is certainly different. It's got interesting controls with leather grips. It's also got a beverage holder. Now this is clever. This is a little tool bag that sits at the front of your controls and holds all your main tools that you need. Height adjustment can be done on the fly and it goes all the way up to 50mm. This mower is powered by a Kawasaki engine, and I was very surprised at how quiet it was and actually how powerful it was. The controls are adjustable to suit your height and your mowing style. So let's rip straight into a mow and show you how it works. I was very impressed with the way that it sat, and the lines and the cut was really sublime with the, I think it's a 10-blade reel. Now, using this mower was a little bit more involved to use via the controls. The right hand control controls the reel blade spinning, and the left hand control controls the forward motion. So that took a little bit of getting used to, but as soon as I got hold of it and got into it, I tell you what, I really enjoyed the mowing experience. I mean, look at these lines. It just really was a sublime mowing experience, and yeah, the cut is just amazing. Very enjoyable mower to use and very addictive. The clever design allows you to get extremely close to your edges.
Lawnporn crew. Matt, Jeff and Andrew.
The clever design, the features, how it's adjustable to your mowing style, just makes it an extremely versatile mower. And it's also got the attachments, which I'll show a little bit later in the video. They've thought of almost everything. It's just fantastic.
So the Swardman, what do I think of it? It's an absolute monster. It's a cracker of a mower. It's a little bit more complex to use, the controls, because you need the right hand to control the reel and your left hand controls you moving forward. And I was a little bit jerky at first, but after that got the idea of it, and yeah, it's a great little system. It's a little bit more involved and a bit more to get used to than the Protea. This sits really well on the grass, but I just felt that the Protea was a little bit better in that regard. But look, the difference wasn't much. This has got a 9-blade reel on it, or a 10-blade, I think, and I really like how it's got it all marked out here for your height, and of course all the attachments, which make it really versatile.
So this one they call a verticutter. This is the brush that you can brush your sand into. They call this one a scarifier, but it's more of a dethatcher by the looks of it. It's got those little hooks in it, and here's the 5-blade cartridge. So I will sacrifice a little bit of my backyard, being the old dog's yard, just to show you how it performs, because I suppose it's important for the review. You wouldn't do scarification and dethatching this late in the season. It's the last day of March here. My grass is starting to slow down already, even though we've had hot weather. So you would not do this at this time of year. You would do it when spring comes along and you get some warmer weather and the growing season starts. This is the end of growing season, so you shouldn't be doing this process now. But for the purpose of the video, I will sacrifice a little bit of ground just to show you how it all works.
So I've cut that down to about 12mm, and as you can see, it's starting to show a little bit of the thatch. So now I'm going to put the dethatcher attachment on it and see what I get up off of it. The tool should be in the tool bag. Here it is, just an Allen key.
So we'll have to undo this one first. There we go, maximum height. Take this off, that's nice and easy. Pull that off. Done. Maybe I should have practiced. Alright, the next thing is this belt. There we go, nice and easy. Now there's two fixing bolts. One here and one on the other side.
Yeah, gotta have you. Go. You've got the green light.
There's one on this side.
You've got the green light. You've got the green light.
So for a first go, this isn't too bad. And then you just grab the handle here and pull her out. So this is our,
You know what?
I'll call it a dethatching reel.
I'm so.
I was going to call it a scarifier, but it's a dethatcher.
You know what?
There we go.
You're so fine.
Line straight up, didn't even have to line it up.
You know what?
The hand tighten with the tool, that's all it needs, doesn't need to be torqued or anything. And look at that handy feature. All the markings.
Green light.
And this just simply goes back on,
Got the green light.
like so.
Green light.
Almost forgot.
Yeah, you've got the green
Gotta
light.
do this up. Stick it down right. There you go, there's a result. Quite a lot of thatch for grass that wasn't dethatched too long ago. So it's like a bit of a groomer slash dethatcher. What have I got at the Unti? 9mm.
Green light.
Maybe go a little bit deeper. Let's try it.
Yeah, you've got the green light.
That's really getting up quite a fair bit of the brown bits. Great way of thinning out the grass. It's probably something during the growing season you do like once a month or something like that, I reckon. Okay, well let's really get into it. Let's check the verticutter in, see what that does. I've already removed this once, so I'm getting a bit confident. Now I've got to go to highest height. So inspired. This off. Now that I know that goes under that pulley when I put it back, because I stuffed that up the first time. What do you reckon, Tiff? About 2 minutes
Yeah.
so far into it? If I had a quicker tool, maybe I could do it even quicker. Maybe the Swardman Olympics, eh? There we go. That's the second one. And out it comes. It's as easy as that. So you get a spare set of screws, obviously, with every attachment that you get. It's pretty good. Your hair's over that camera, mate. There's a little bar at the back, so you've got to get that into the right spot. What are we into it now? About 3 minutes?
Yeah, 3-4 minutes.
If I was more mechanical, I would be able to do it quicker. I'm not exactly mechanically minded, and this is a breeze. That goes underneath that pulley. That's what I stuffed up before. I think it's going to be a fair bit messier after this. A little bit here, you've got a bit of dirt here. It's getting in there a little bit. It is a verticutter. I'll go a bit deeper and see if it actually does it like a scarifier. So I've got this to 2mm. So as you can see, at 2mm, this is bringing up a bit more dirt, so that more or less is like a verticutter. I was thinking it was going to be a scarifier, but a scarifier is a bit more damaging. I might try it at lower again, see what we get. So this is at about -5. That is like a cross between a verticutter and a scarifier. It's really getting in there, making nice little grooves. There's a groove there, there's a groove there, there's a groove. You would fill that with sand and the top dress, so yeah, it's like a verticutter, as they say. This is -14, as low as it will go. Well, I've got to say I'm pretty surprised
I thought the engine would struggle with that, but it is doing it with ease. As you can hear the engine, there was no struggle. So that is a light vertical. I was expecting it to be more like a scarifying. It's sort of that level, just a little bit less than what a scarification is. You would mow up or sweep up, rake up should I say, all your clippings there and get rid of them, give it a low mow, and then you would give it a sand, and that's when that broom's going to come into it. I'm pretty impressed, I've got to say, because I really thought it would struggle, but it's not a scarifier. Scarifier needs to be, it's quite a heavy machine, and it gets further into that soil profile. This is getting in there by 10 to 15 millimeters, I guess, and just chopping it up nicely. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the attachments and how easy they are to use. Very good.
Well, it's certainly hard to do this review without going into it like a gushing child. So if you stuck around this long, sorry about the long review, but yeah, there's a lot to cover. So the Swardman, what an absolute cracker of a mower. I've been asked by a lot of people on the Facebook page to compare the Protea to the Swardman. Well, let me put it this way, they're both great mowers. I suppose the easiest way I could say or compare them is like the Protea is like the Mustang of the cylinder mower world, and the Swardman is like the Rolls Royce. So if you like Mustangs, go the Protea. If you don't mind going in a roller and classing it up a bit, go the Swardman. So there's lots of features to the Swardman that I really like. The interchangeable cartridges, it's just amazing. The 10 blade cutting reel, just amazing. I could really see the difference more blades has. Now look, the handle was a bit flexy. Going from the base to the controls, it's just one bar. What's really good about it is that you can adjust it at both points to suit your mowing style and your height, obviously. There was that little bit of flex, and it annoyed me in the first couple of mows, but after about the third mow, it just wasn't an issue and doesn't really matter. The mower sits really well on the grass, but one thing that really impressed me is how close you can get to the edge. With the Protea and the Scott Bonner, on the edges, you tend to catch the actual frame on, say, your concrete edge or whatever you've got there. It simply wasn't an issue for the Swardman. It's just a really well thought out design. I mean, if you've got a wall and you can just mow to the right side, you'll miss about that much, which you can get to with a whippersnipper or something like that. But I just really liked how the design let me get a low cut right to the edge and still clear the concrete. Something I also didn't discuss in the video was the front roller, its groove, and that gets into the grass more, gets into the lawn more, and aids with your control, and also keeps the blades standing up for when you cut it rather than pushing it over. That rear split roller, nice and easy to maneuver, it's fantastic. It does sound a little bit hollow, but really that's not an issue when you're on the grass. It's more of an issue when you're rolling it on the concrete. But you've got these two little wheels at the back, and that makes all the difference for transport. That motor is super quiet. It just feels like it's not a powerful motor, but it is. It just works completely well. The whole design is just so well thought out. And the interchangeable cartridges, well, okay, that's a few extra bucks, but it really saves you money getting extra machines that specifically do things like having a machine for a verticutter, and the sweeping broom to sweep in your sand. Although I didn't use that, I can see that that's going to work very well. I was really surprised about how easily it did the verticut. Even though it was going into the soil, it didn't stress the motor at all. It just cut right through. It's fantastic. There's nothing cheap about these parts. Everything's metal, nothing's plastic. It's just quality, solid, solid, solid. Look, if I have to give this mower a 10 out of 10 score, it would have to be a 9.5. The 0.5 I'll take off for the flex in the handle, and just, I suppose it's a little bit more difficult in its controls. You've got one control for your revs, you've got one control for spinning your reel, and you've got one control to make it go forward. So it does take a little bit of coordination. Look, I'm being very harsh, taking off 0.5 of a point for the flex and for the controls. But look, just realise it's a little bit more involved. I had it down in 3 mows, so it wasn't an issue. Great that you're still here. Sorry about the long video. So I hope you really liked my video. Give it a thumbs up. Become a subscriber. Just hit the circle. If you want to take a look at the Protea as well and compare, hit that thing there. The Swardman is distributed by MaCarthur Mowers, but you can also go on the All Mower Spares site at allmowerspares.com.au to check out the pricing.